Welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time Talk with the show where I have my morning coffee and then I yap off into the void. Well met. Today, everybody, we're talking about Hugo. Today, we're going to be talking about Hugo. Now, me, as well as you, we've all played him in the story. Well, if you've done the story for this patch. But I've also had the great fortune to play him on the creator beta servers extensively, where I can try him out in, some more real content. Against 9 different deadly assault bosses, some critical chi, etc. And now, what do I think of Hugo's there? Well, number one, I feel like I have to give the devs cred once again because they've given us a completely new experience. Same speciality, same element as Ellen, but boy does the playstyles vary a lot. And before anybody asks, is M0 Hugo stronger than M0 Ellen? Yes, by, miles. But that is the curse of being released as the first banner character. You are basically a standard banner character with some spice on. So Hugo's gameplay loop is like this. You stun an enemy, then you bring in Hugo through a chain attack, because after chain attack, Hugo enters into a buffed state. You then do an EX special or ultimate and trigger Totalize on an enemy. Totalize will end the stun duration of an enemy. Totalize will end the stun on an enemy. But the payout is a big chunk of damage. At M0, with this engine hitting 4 million Totalize is quite doable. And the damage of Totalize is increased by every second left on the stun timer. So if an enemy is supposed to, be stunned for 11 seconds longer, the Totalize will do a lot more damage than if it has 7 seconds left or, 3 seconds left. Now, I hope I'm remembering the numbers right, but it gets a 300% increase in damage for every second up to 5 seconds remaining. Then if it's longer than that, it's 100% bonus for every additional second, up to 3,400%. And what I've found so far to work the absolute best is stun an enemy, chain attack, Totalize, then stun an enemy again. Any remaining stun window gets converted into days up to 25% of the total days meter. So you have an easier time re-stunning an enemy, if that makes sense. And a very, very good default team that works super well for Hugo is Lighter. Lighter increases ice damage by a shit ton, also increases the seconds an enemy is stunned, which is tailor-made to work super well with Totalize. And Lycon is a go-to teammate for Hugo. If Lycon hits a stunned enemy, that stunned enemy takes 25% more damage in that stun window, which once again works really well. And he also shreds ice defense. And yeah, Hugo is special in that way. His core passive gives him 300 extra damage if he's paired with 1 stunner, 900 extra damage if he's paired with 2 stunners. Now, does that mean that you can't get similar result if you run Astra instead of a stun? No. Astra works. There are some clear synergies with Astra, since Hugo enters into an enhanced state after doing a chain attack. And Astra can obviously allow him to do this outside of stun windows. But one of Hugo's biggest draws is that he does not contest the same units as anybody else. He is not contesting Astra. And he basically works with any stunner. And he works quite well with the standard banner stunners like Kolida and Lycon. Since he's incentivized to do chain attacks, his chain attack is hard hitting. Kolida is not a bad pick, once again, if you do not possess Lighter. Hugo is a lot of fun. After most things he does as well, like EX special, ultimate, defensive assist, etc., he can hold down the attack button and do an increased fire shot. His EX special also does extra days on unstunned enemies, he himself can build up somewhat of days. And there are certain builds and ways playing him as an on-fielder. My best results with that so far is running him on Woodpecker Electro. But at the moment, the thing I've gotten the absolute highest score with is running him as a burst DPS, so running him on a 4-piece Hormone Punk. And preferably in that case, you want an on-field stunner like Lycon, because Lycon's full basic attack string does build up quite a lot. And then if you get attacked, you can defensive assist into Lighter, and vice versa. And as soon as the enemy is stunned, you try to trigger the stun window with Lycon, then you send in Hugo. Hugo totalizes, and then you do it all over again. Now, as for how strong is he? At M0, he does feel strong. I consistently get over 40k on most of the assault bosses, 45 on some that, the buffs really align, but I'm also still, learning Hugo, so I'm sure it can be refined even more. And as for Hugo's Mindscapes, the M1 is good, but M2 is broken. M2 does it so when Hugo totalizes an enemy with his ultimate, the stun window does not end. which means if you have your ultimate up, you can ultimate, totalize for 4 million, then EX special directly after that and get another 4 million totalize. And my friends, that is borderline insane. So for Hugo, the M2 is the big one. He is strong and he will work base kit, absolutely. It's quite fun, it's a unique playstyle. Another reason why I prefer burst DPS Hugo is that he does, suffer from the same problem as a lot of other attackers. They lack iframes or, inbuilt parries that for some reason the anomaly characters seems to get, but not really the attackers. Well, chances are that you're gonna get smacked, you're gonna get hit, or you're gonna be forced to like defensive assist or dodge just to keep yourself alive, because an enemy that isn't stunned isn't just gonna stand there and watch you do your fancy schmancy moves. But yeah, overall, Hugo is very unique, very potent, does a lot of damage, and I don't think that anybody that's going for Hugo is gonna be, disappointed. So I could see some people really loving it, but I could also see some people maybe not getting too into it. So yeah, everybody, let me know down in the comments what's your thoughts about Hugo, if you played him in the story, how you're finding him, and what you're pulling plans for him. And as always, thanks so much for watching, have big hugs, and enjoy your anime jugs. If you liked the video, maybe consider giving a thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. Until next time, friends, Hako out.